So obviously in an ideal world, schools are funded completely and everything keeps up with inflation rates and so forth. But I think that and I appreciate that you came out and said, hey, this is where we want to be. And so I think that 5 can be acceptable, in part because of that candor. I mean, like, I appreciate that a lot. And I think that we, obviously that's still going to send some people backwards on that, from where they were last year because of inflation. However, that's, I think, somewhat to be expected for all people, regardless of their job, except for the very wealthy that none of us are. So.
Well, and one of the other things is kind of one of the things we discussed is being that we're realizing there's inflation out there and realizing that the school's looking hesitantly towards the future. We would be hopeful that when this does pass, that we come back together as a group and address the issues of inflation. There are many schools that operate year to year to year to year to year, giving raises below the rate of inflation, and that it puts teachers in a tough spot, a career that's tough already. And looking at the history, even though Governor Little's only been my governor for a few short months, I've seen much more interest in education than in my previous state. My previous state was you're either in or you're out when it came to education as a teacher, and it was difficult. But hearing him personally speak on his dedication to education, especially dedication to agriculture education, when he came to our state convention for FFA, he and the legislature have made education as a priority and are looking to bring Idaho more up into line with the rest of the nation as far as funding for teachers in education, which is why you're seeing a lot of the movement and the things that they've done to try to better the education system here. And I believe there's even funds that may be on the table for the school for the 7th and 8th grade agriculture classes, because they just put out funds to fund programs that deal with that. So even the school might be missing out on something that's dangling there from the legislature's last session. So again, I hope that in the future we can go back and revisit this. Maybe when we know we've got a longer period of blue skies coming, and work to help bring this back into line where it should be for professionals.
Cool. One thing I want to address next year is the gray area of our salary schedule. Again, every so many years we need to revisit that. I think next year would be a good year to revisit that. So, something to keep in mind.
So what were you saying? You wanted to change the salary schedule to address the gray area? Is that what you were saying?
So you look at the salary schedule, is that part that doesn't change as much.
Right.
We didn't do that this year.
The minimum, basically.
The minimum, basically. And next year, we didn't do that this year. Next year, I'd like to add some changes to that.
Okay. I agree with you there. It probably needs to be changed.
Yeah, every 3, well, this is 2 years, about every 3 years, it should be added to.
Or adjusted.
Or adjusted, yeah. So, good?
Yep, thank you guys, appreciate it. And, we'll also, in the back of our minds, we got 20 other employees you guys can